A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hi everyone, and welcome to A+ English. I'm Pat.
I'm Kathy.
And our warm-up question for our story article this month is, what special things do you do for your favorite holiday?
Well, for me, my favorite holiday is Christmas. It's a special day about happiness and love, and I like to write Christmas cards to my family and friends. I enjoy writing the cards and sending it out to them. And I also enjoy the moment when they share with me their happiness when receiving the card.
Great.
So what about you, Pat?
Yes, I would say Christmas is probably my favorite holiday that we have in the UK as well. I enjoy all of it, from putting things on the Christmas tree to decorate it, to a family game we have where we try and guess the number of presents and get under the tree to see who can get it right, to having a great big Christmas meal with all the friends and family. Pretty much start to finish, the whole few days, it's just a great time. Obviously, I can't get to go home this year for reasons. So I'm missing Christmas, as I have quite often, but hopefully soon I'll get a chance for it. Now, today's story is a Christmas story. It's the Polar Express. Some of you guys may have seen the movie, but what about the book? Let's read through part 1 and find out.
The Polar Express. Warm-up question. What special things do you do for your favorite holiday?
Years ago, when I was a boy, I lay in bed on Christmas Eve. It was late at night. I hoped to hear the sound of Santa Claus's sleigh bells. However, I heard the sound of a train. It stopped outside my house as snow fell from the sky. I put on my slippers and robe and went outside.
This is the Polar Express to the North Pole,
said the train's conductor. I got on the train and saw other children in their pajamas. As the train passed houses and forests, we sang Christmas songs. We also drank hot chocolate and ate candy.
Word power. Lie, 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 lay, lane. I lie on the couch to sleep when I feel tired. I lie on the couch to sleep when I feel tired. Slippers, slippers. I change from my outside shoes to slippers when I am at home. I change from my outside shoes to slippers when I am at home. Pajamas, pajamas. Every night, I put on my pajamas before I go to sleep. Every night I put on my pajamas before I go to sleep. Forest, forest. There is a forest behind my house with lots of different trees and plants. There is a forest behind my house with lots of different trees and plants.
认识字汇
Sleigh, robe, conductor.
So we have our Christmas story, and we see that it's told by a person, and he uses I did this, I saw this, and so on. We call this kind of story first person. the man starts his tale by saying, "Years ago, when I was a boy, I lay in bed on Christmas Eve."
今天的文章是在述说和圣诞节有关的故事，而这篇文章是用第一人称来叙述的。我们可以从一开头呢看到写这篇文章的是一位男士哦。他说呢，多年前当我还是一个小男孩的时候，在平安夜里我躺在床上。我们看到这里他用了 when 这个连接词。when 有当什么什么时的意思。那有关更多详细的介绍，我们就先请讲师为我们在 Magic Box 当中讲解咯。
Magic Box。
白雪公主终于吃下我的毒苹果了。OK， 现在我看谁也救不了她了吧。I felt so good when I heard the news。想了那么多消灭她的办法，最后我只能说啊，白雪公主你也真是的，谁叫你要那么贪吃呢 ？My world became bright as you fainted。真的是太开心了。OK， 连接词 when 大家一定很常用到吧，代表当什么什么什么的时候，或是在什么同时的意思。其实这两者啊是可以交换使用的哦，它跟 as 都是可以交换使用的，一样呢都有形容两个同时进行的动作的意思哦。所以啊，像我刚刚说的 I felt so good when I heard the news， 意思啊就是说，当我听到白雪公主被我毒死的时候，我感到非常的开心。这边呢跟大家补充一下哦 ，when 除了放在句中，也可以放在句首哦。不过啊，在句首的时候，记得啊这个两个子句的中间要加上逗号来区隔哦。所以啊，你也可以这么说 ：When I heard the news， 逗号。I feel so good。当什么什么时候，在什么什么的同时，除了使用连接词 when， 你也可以使用我刚刚说的另外一个意思相近的 as 来表达哦。例如 ，My world became bright as you fainted。是的。在你晕过去的那瞬间，那同时我的世界呢就亮了起来呢，因为终于，我辛苦了那么久，终于好了。所以啊 ，as 呢也是一样哦，放在句中或是句首都可以的。As you fainted， 一样记得加上逗号哦。My world became bright。好，还不够清楚是不是？好，那我们再多看几个句子好喽。I became the most beautiful woman in the world when Snow White died。或者啊，我也可以这么说 ：When Snow White died, I became the most beautiful woman in the world。要用 as 也是可以哦。I became the most beautiful woman in the world as Snow White died。或者是 As Snow White died, I became the most beautiful woman in the world。是的，当白雪公主死去的那瞬间，哇，就成了世界上最美的女人了！什么？你说你不信吗？不然你就问问看那最公平的人好了。Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all？
Welcome back. So, when gives some time information, and we learn this story happened at the time the man was a child lying in bed.
这边我们看到 lie 这个单字是什么意思呢？让我们看一下今天第一个 word power word 吧。lie 在这句当中呢是动词，指人或动物躺或是平卧，三态是 lie, lay, land。Lie in bed， 躺在床上。当然 lie 还有另外一个很常见的意思，就是说谎。很口语的句子有 Are you lying to me？ 或者 Don't trust her, she's lying。例句这里说呢 I lie on the couch to sleep when I feel tired。当我感到疲惫时，我会躺在沙发上睡觉。
So we can lie on the floor, lie in bed, or lie on the beach. One thing we shouldn't do is lie to our parents. That is, of course, a different meaning. Now here the boy is lying in bed.
Yes. 那这句当中我们也看到 lie in bed 躺在床上，同学们可能会想，in bed 跟 on the bed 有什么不一样呢？那这个问题问得非常好哦，主要区分的方式就是用被子、棉被来区分。如果我们说一个人 is on the bed， 代表他在床上，而且是在床单被子上面，没有盖被子。When somebody is not covered with sheets or blankets， 但如果是 in bed， 代表呢是盖着被子的意思。It's covered with sheets or blankets. 我们也可以说 he is under covers.
Yep, or under the covers. Now let's continue with the story. It says, it was late at night.
文章接着点出时间点，已经很晚了。I bet he was thinking all about gifts. When would he get on Christmas Day?
That's
What
right.
would he get?
That's exactly what I used to do. Next, we see that the guy says, I hoped to hear the sound of Santa Claus's sleigh bells.
那当然小男孩这时候一定会想着礼物的事情啊，所以文章说我希望听到圣诞老人这个雪橇铃铛的声音。这边出现一个单字 sleigh 就是名词指雪橇。
Right, that's what we call Santa's car,
Yes.
I guess, that flies in the sky, his sleigh. Some people still use sleighs to move over snow or ice in very cold countries. Back to the story, and it says, however, I heard the sound of a train.
结果他有没有听到圣诞老人雪橇铃铛的声音呢？居然没有他说，然而我听到了火车的声音。Is Santa driving a train? I guess that would help him carry all the gifts.
True, but let's see what's going on. The story says, it stopped outside my house as snow fell from the sky. As is another one of those special linking words like when, which we used earlier.
那这是怎么一回事呢？文章说，在这个雪从天上掉下来的同时，这辆火车就降临停在我家外面。这里呢用到了 as， 意思是在什么什么的同时，和我们稍早看到的 when 一样，都属连接词。
So we could say something like, my phone rang as I was cooking dinner. So here's what happens next in the story. I put on my slippers and robe and went outside. We have a few things to look at here, starting with the phrasal verb put on.
那看到这样的场景，小男孩的反应是什么呢？这里说，我就穿上了我的拖鞋和睡袍，然后出门了。Put on 意思就是穿上、戴上。You can also put on your socks, your clothes, your necklace. 它既可以描述穿的衣服，也可以描述戴的饰品或是喷香水或涂护肤品。But mostly we use put on in this way to talk about clothes.
Yes, you put on anything from your hat or glasses all the way down to your shoes, or in the boy's case, his slippers.
这句当中我们也看到了下一个 word power word slippers 是什么意思呢？一起来看看吧。Slippers 就是拖鞋、便鞋，通常呢是在室内上穿的。一双拖鞋就叫做 a pair of slippers。那如果你在后面加上一个 y 呢，就变成 slippery， 意思就是滑的、容易滑的。For example, the road was slippery after the rain. 下雨之后呢，道路很滑。课文例句说 I change from my outside shoes to slippers when I am at home. 我在家时会把室外鞋换成拖鞋。
I sometimes wear slippers around now and next month in the winter, and I definitely used to in England when the weather was cold. My mum and dad don't have carpets, so their floors are always cold to walk on.
Well, it's England. Why don't they have carpets?
They have cats, and the cats just rip them up. But England is cold enough that you need slippers even if you have carpets. And you might need a robe too.
Wow, it's definitely a lot colder than Taiwan, so you would need a robe. Robe 就是浴衣、睡袍，那它也可以指其他种类的袍，例如长袍、罩袍、学士服、官服、法衣等等。 都可以用 robe 来形容哦。
Another kind of robe is a bathrobe, which is a bit like clothes or a robe, and they're almost like a towel sometimes. You put it on after a shower or a bath, and it keeps you warm and dries you a bit as well, and it's very comfortable. Next, the story says that this is the Polar Express to the North Pole, said the train's conductor.
文章这边开始出现了其他人哦，这是通往北极的极地特快列车。列车长说 ，conductor 就是列车长，可以用来形容在电车、巴士上或是火车上的随车服务员。A railway officer who is responsible for a train.
Yeah, buses used to have conductors too, and I think subways like the MRT
Yes.
did. They're not needed so much now as we use electronic ways like easy cards for checking tickets and paying money. Now, maybe you might think twice about getting on a strange train, but if it's going to the North Pole, where Santa lives, on Christmas Eve, surely you have to get on.
Yeah.
And that's what our storyteller did. He says, I got on the train and saw other children in their pajamas.
当然，这是要去圣诞老人住的地方的列车，所以小男孩就很兴奋地上车喽。因此，文章说，我上了火车，然后看到其他穿着睡衣的小孩们。这边出现我们今天另外一个 word power word pajamas， 一起来认识一下吧。Pajamas 就是睡衣裤 ，They are clothes worn in bed。那通常是比较宽松大件，穿起来很舒适的。像如果你哥哥刚起床还穿着睡衣，你就可以说 My brother just got up and was still in his pajamas。课文例句这里说 Every night I put on my pajamas before I go to sleep。每天晚上睡觉前，我都会换上睡衣裤。
Now, I don't really wear pajamas myself, just an old t-shirt and some underwear. I had pajamas when I was a kid though, and a quick note, in British English, we spell the word pajamas with a Y, P-Y-J-A-M-A-S. Pajamas, we do pronounce it in the same way, and you can also say jammies or even gym jams. Moving on, we see in the story that as the train passed houses and forests, we sang Christmas songs.
那搭这个火车之后呢，发生什么事呢？文章这里说，当火车经过了房子和森林时，我们唱着圣诞歌曲，哇，看起来是个非常欢乐的景象哦。这句当中也出现我们今天最后一个 word power word， 一起来看看 forest 这个字吧。Forest 就是森林，通常呢，森林是生长在野外的一片空地。像如果有同学你们去野外露营，可能就会到 forest。所以如果你要说你们的营地在位于这个布满松树的森林里面，英文要怎么说呢？就会是 The campsite is set in the middle of a pine forest。那课文例句这里说呢 There is a forest behind my house with lots of different trees and plants。我家后面有一片森林，里头有许多不同品种的树木及植物。
So the first day of the article finishes by saying, We also drank hot chocolate and ate candy. Sounds like a really great trip.
文章最后一句说呢，我们还喝了热巧克力，还有吃糖果。It does, and I'm sure it will get better when they reach the North Pole.
Well, we'll find out if that's true in part 2 of the story tomorrow, but now it's time to go to today's review time activity.
Review time!
So, one of our word power words today was pajamas,
Yes.
and I said that British people spell it with a Y, not an A. Now, British people don't just spell things differently to Americans. We often use different words for the same thing. So I'm going to give you a quick quiz here, Kathy.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a few different choices for British English, okay? I'm going to ask you to see if you can guess what the right word is.
Okay.
So, Firstly, what do British people call a truck? Is it A, a lorry, or B, a chucker?
I will go for A lorry.
That is correct. Yep. If a truck passes by and you're British, you say, oh, it's a lorry. So a big lorry. Okay, so potato chips, crunchy snacks, very popular in the UK too. But what do we call them? A, crisps, or B, crisps?
Oh, that's crisps. Crisps.
Crisps, yes, it is B. We call them crisps. Okay, but what do we call an elevator? Okay, is it A lift, or B, an upbox?
For this one, I think I'll go for A lift.
Yes, we call it a lift because it lifts you up in the air. And finally, relating to today's article, a lot of British people will say Santa Claus, but we have another very common name for him as well. Is it A, Father Christmas, or B, Papa Noel?
You have a father in A, you have a papa in B. That's both. I think A and B all works, right?
We just say A, Father Christmas. Père Noël is what they call him in France.
Oh,
it's again basically Father Christmas. But yes, we will call him Father Christmas a lot of the time. Okay, so that is the end of today's article. I think you're pretty good at British English.
Thank you.
Good job. Thanks for watching, everyone, and join us tomorrow for part 2 of our story, The Polar Express. See you then. Bye for now.
Bye.
The Polar Express. Warm-up question. What special things do you do for your favorite holiday?
Years ago, when I was a boy, I lay in bed on Christmas Eve. It was late at night. I hoped to hear the sound of Santa Claus's sleigh bells. However, I heard the sound of a train. It stopped outside my house as snow fell from the sky. I put on my slippers and robe and went outside.
This is the Polar Express to the North Pole,
said the train's conductor. I got on the train and saw other children in their pajamas. As the train passed houses and forests, we sang Christmas songs. We also drank hot chocolate and ate candy.
Word power. Lie, 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 lay, lane. I lie on the couch to sleep when I feel tired. I lie on the couch to sleep when I feel tired. Slippers, slippers. I change from my outside shoes to slippers when I am at home. I change from my outside shoes to slippers when I am at home. Pajamas, pajamas. Every night I put on my pajamas before I go to sleep. Every night I put on my pajamas before I go to sleep. Forest, forest. There is a forest behind my house with lots of different trees and plants. There is a forest behind my house with lots of different trees and plants.
认识字汇
Sleigh, robe, conductor.